Can everyone see it? Because I can't see you anymore now that I'm sharing your screen, so you have to
see it.
me.
I can see it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. So yeah, we're just going to present on the DUR Navigator program. So this program was introduced, gee, I'm trying to think how long ago, maybe 2018-ish to the commission by Helen Morgan and city attorney at that time, another city attorney, Melissa Drazen-Smith. Basically, the court had 5,000 DURs annually in the system, and they wanted to come up with a way that we could help divert some of these cases. So that was the implementation of the DUR program. I think we launched June of 2019, if I'm not mistaken, Megan. So
yes, that's right.
Okay, and then next slide.
So I'll, oh, sorry, Deanna, I'll just jump in here. I'll introduce myself. My name is Megan Moore. I am the supervisor of the DUR Navigator program. So thank you all for letting us present today. I really appreciate your time. I'll just kind of jump into it for those who maybe just need a little bit of a refresher, but the DUR Navigator program kind of lies within all the wellness programs that we have going on here at Denver County Court. And as Deanna had said earlier, this program was targeted to try to alleviate some of the immense pain that was feeling by the court with all these cases that were coming through. So what our team has done was able to target clients who need direction in obtaining their driver's license. And we have had immense success since the implementation of the program in June of 2019. So next slide, please. Here's just a little bit of a background of what we do as far as a client being supervised by our program. Is we have an intake meeting with them. At that time, we do record checks. We check and make sure that they are abiding by all of our rules and guidelines, and then ultimately help them obtain their driver's license. We do meet with them once every 90 days and have a DUR review hearing in which we just check in with them and make sure that they are on track. And once they obtain their driver's license, we will dismiss their case in full. So that really does help the court. That means no misdemeanor, no court fines, no court costs for the client. And then they'll ultimately have their driver's license, which is the goal for all the clients on the program. Next slide, please. This slide is just a quick little capture of what the client worksheet consists of. I kind of like to adapt this as kind of like the client homework. So every single client that we are meeting with has a tailored outline of what exactly they need to be completing to obtain their driver's license. So for them, it could be paying off a restitution cost, clearing an active warrant, getting insurance, completing any sort of DMV documentation. And so we really do tailor this individually to each client. And we found this to be very successful. Clients are able to follow the format very easily and ultimately obtain their driver's license. And next slide, please. This document right here kind of shows when a client is non-compliant with the program. So unfortunately, we do have clients who are not compliant with the program due to a few reasons. The most typical one that we do see are that clients abscond from the program. Although we do try to make several attempts via phone call, email, letter sent to the client's house, even to try to get in touch with them. Sometimes we do have to remove them from the program. So this is just a quick little outline, just showing, you know, what we submit to the court as far as their non-compliance with the program. And then we just send that case back to court to be heard before the judge. Next slide, please. So this slide is kind of just more detailing how our program is assisting further than just helping them obtain their driver's license. Our team is really helping clients navigate some trialing and difficult issues within the court. One of them is child support. Clients are having issues contacting child support, remaining in compliance with that. So our team does try to assist them in any way possible. One of the biggest issues that we have found is just court errors. Sometimes a court clerk will hit the wrong button when they are in court and will incorrectly assess a lien onto a client's driver's license. And that can be kind of confusing and difficult for a client to understand, why is the court doing this to me? And our team has been able to put a face to that and really say, hey, sir, ma'am, it was really just a mistake, and we will try to remedy that for you. And so since the program has been initiated, we've resolved roughly 300 of those errors that we've come across throughout the state of Colorado, which I think has really made a positive impact farther than just the city and county of Denver. And then lastly, we also have been helping clients with obtaining bus passes, getting into homeless shelters or domestic violence shelters of that sort. Next slide, please. Some of you may know, but there is the Senate Bill 251 Act, the Colorado Road and Community Safety Act. This is targeted towards clients who are undocumented. The population that we currently have amongst us, we do have quite a few clients on our caseload at this time that are undocumented, and we do need to try to help them get through the process of obtaining their driver's license. So one of the things that our team does is we really walk them through that process of being able to obtain their ITIN number, figure out their tax information, and ultimately be able to obtain their driver's license. And this is actually a program that takes quite a long time. It can take up to 4 to 6 months, even for someone to obtain an ITIN number. And then on top of that, to even get into the DMV in order to obtain a driver's license could take an additional 4 to 5 months past that time. So we have been able to walk clients through that lengthy process as well. Next slide, please. Here are just some quick statistics for you all. These are some statistics since the program has launched in June 2019. So at this time right now, our caseload is roughly 575 clients, which kind of evens out to roughly 180 to 200 clients per navigator. The next set is the referrals that we have received. When we first started the program in June 2019, it was just a massive flood of cases, which was exciting and tiring at the same time, but we were able to manage through it and meet all the clients' needs. And then obviously COVID-19 happened in 2020. So, the court shut down, we didn't get a lot of referrals. That was definitely a massive shift when COVID-19 happened, and that really did affect our program a little bit. But we were still able to meet the needs of the clients and get them the services that they requested. And then this year we are a little bit on track. We've kind of slowed down on our referrals, but we still have a lot of clients coming into our doors and requesting our services. Since we launched in June 2019, we've gotten almost 1,300 dismissals. So that is 1,300 successful cases. All those clients have had those misdemeanors removed and no court fines or court costs. So that's really, really great for us. And we've recouped over $300,000 of court fines that should have been paid to the court for those OJWs. That's as much money as we have recouped from those dismissals. So next slide, please. Right now, we are in talks for the future of the DUR Navigator program and what it's going to be looking like moving forward. Our team would ultimately like to expand, and we're at this time now, we are testing expansion of the program. So right now, we're just working on the standard DUR, so driving under restraint cases. In May, we did start taking on a higher level case. So that would be the DARPs, that's driving under revocation prohibited, and also DUR ALC cases, meaning that there was an alcohol component while driving that would affect their driver's license. So this time we are seeing increased requirements for clients that we are seeing, which would mean increased case management processes for us as well. And then ultimately, we're hoping to expand further assistance within other court programs as well. So the future looks for us seems bright. So next slide, please. And that's all I have for our little presentation for today. I hope that was a good encapsulation of what our program has done. Deanna and I believe that this program has been wildly successful thus far, and we're so excited to continue to keep it running moving forward. So we just want to thank you all for letting us thrive and really letting us meet the needs of our clients in the community. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan and Deanna. Do any commissioners have any question about the DUR program that Megan and Deanna can answer at this time? Go ahead, Jonathan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Quick question, and I apologize, Megan, if I missed this in your presentation. How are clients referred? Like, is there a vetting process? Is there a priority process of who gets referred or not? That's my first of two questions.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I'm sorry, I probably should have added that into the presentation. So the clients are referred to us as they have received a DUR charge within Denver County Court. So it's the district attorney team that refers those clients to our program. We also have those cases through the city and county building too. So we also get referrals from the city attorneys as well. So it's typically between those two teams that we are receiving referrals from. However, our team has been expanding and helping clients in need. So we have had clients just come to our office and say, hey, you helped my cousin 3 months ago get their license. Can you help me too? And we have been able to connect them with resources.
All right, well, thank you. And my other question is this. I know the city contracts with a collection agency for fines and unpaid fines and restitution, which typically impact a person's ability to reinstate their license. And with that said, there's typically a fee over and beyond what the court has imposed as far as their restitution or fine. And as you mentioned, the program started in 2019, and so many people were going without work in 2020. Does your program work with those clients to be able to negotiate or even maybe waive the fees that are being imposed by this third party that aren't a condition of the court of getting their licenses back?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that we try to work with our clients now is that budget factor, right? Finances are really a struggle for a lot of people right now. And so we have tried to have talks and conversations with our clients on how to get past that. I do believe once a case has been sent to a collection facility, I know that a lot of courts will not remove that from the collection facility. So there's nothing much that we can do from that. But I'll tell you that our team has been able to call those collection facilities with our client in the office and try to strike a deal. Sometimes the collection facility wants the entire money paid up front. And we tell them, hey, so you want $1,000, but they can only pay $300. Can we strike a deal for them to pay that today? And oftentimes just having us in their pocket can really help that conversation progress. And we have had success that way. But unfortunately, we have not been able to fully help remove that extra money that's been added once the case has been sent to collections.
All right, thank you. So I appreciate your answer. Council persons, I'm looking at you to maybe come up with a remedy to a third party benefiting off of someone else's misfortune. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Jonathan. Next up, Carol.
Unmute. Hi, thanks so much. Megan, nice to meet you. I just wanted to be reminded, how much does this get funding from the commission for annually?
Probably 400 plus thousand, whatever the salary, there's 4 individuals assigned to this program. I think it's 469-ish roughly. I don't know the dollar amount, but it's the
Is that your total budget or?
Oh,
Dean,
Deanna,
I
you
may
got
have
muted.
you. Hold on.
Sorry, I keep unmuting.
Yes.
400, I think it's 469 total, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the budget in front of me, and it's all 4 FTEs that are funded out of this program.
Can other, and you said that you get walk-ins sometimes from the other community people just saying, I need help getting my ID back.
Yeah, we actually had one woman yesterday come in, and her friend had been in the DUR Navigator program. It's actually quite funny how word just travels around. So yeah, she came in yesterday and she was looking for assistance on how to clear a court fine that she had to pay. So we were able to walk her through that process and get her back on track. So we have had several clients who've done that.
Okay, but what are the parameters of the program? Can you help people who have like gotten out of prison and need to get their ID back?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So we've helped a whole litany of people from different backgrounds get their driver's license. And like I said, we create that tailored document for them that really goes through each and every process. So we mostly work with clients who have been referred. So that
Right.
means that they have actually been out in the community, have been cited by an officer for driving under restraint, so driving without a valid driver's license. Then they attend their court hearing and then they're sent to us. So that's the bulk. That's 99% of our clients. But the rest are just kind of word of mouth. Or sometimes I've even received a random email from someone who got my email from someone else, you know. So it has been nice to hear from other people in the community.
Do they have to live in Denver?
No, we have clients who live all over. In fact, we do have some clients who are residing out of state. So say a client lives in Ohio, but they were driving here on a suspended Ohio license. They were here for vacation, they were cited, and then they went back to Ohio. We've had some of those kind of complex situations that we've had to work with and outreach to other DMVs, and they're always astonished at the work that we're doing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Carol. And Carol, I'm getting the budget and I'm going to put it in the chat so everybody can see which each program budget is. Go ahead, Bob McDonald.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Megan. This sounds great, but it makes me think about some of the work that we do on our Wellness Winnie. That's our public health mobile unit. And we get a lot of people coming to the Wellness Winnie wherever we are through the city. And we've placed somebody from our Vital Records program. We're moving in this direction, putting somebody from our Vital Records program onto the Wellness Winnie. Because one of the things that we find out is that to the points you made, that people need to get housing, but they need to get an ID. They can't get an ID because they don't have their birth records. And so when they come to the Wellness Winnie, we want our Vital Records a technician there who can help them get that birth record. Okay. Having said that, though, I'm wondering if there's more that we can do to assist them and where it connects with this program. So would you be the person that I ask our Wellness Winnie manager to reach out to make sure we got some seamless connections there?
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
Okay.
We would love to expand into the community and get more insight as to how we can help people. So, and we have
Okay,
connections with DHS. So we probably crossed paths multiple times and just haven't really realized it.
Okay, thank you. That was all that I wondered, is to just reach out to you to talk about those connections. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Bob McDonald. Thank you for your comment. Do anyone else have anything else to ask the DUR program, Megan or Deanna, before we go ahead and move on to the next agenda item? Okay, I don't see any more hands. So next we are going to call on our Executive Director, Department of Safety, Armando Sadate. Go ahead, Armando.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Asadia. Thank you, Megan and Deanna. I remember years ago when Deanna, when you're first talking about this program, and I love the success. It's really, and I've heard about it from folks from the road, of the success and when you've navigated folks to get back on track. So I really appreciate that. I apologize for being a little late this afternoon for the meeting, but I wanted to take some time just quickly to talk to and update the commissioners and our guest on the transition of CPCC to the Department of Safety again. This is where the commission started, was under the Department of Safety, and it has gone through some iterations through other departments, most recently with DDPHE and Bob's team. And I'd like to thank Bob and his team for the help and that we're going through now the formal logistics of transferring over the staff and the budgets over to us in safety. It has really been, I know, a long process for all of us and the commission that have supported this move. So I just wanted to say welcome back to everyone. I wanted to talk about, I'm really excited about this move and bringing CPCC back. We all know, every one of us that are practitioners in this space and our community members and all the folks that are on there, our nonprofits that are on here, our electeds, our judges, there is a lot of issues around crime, jails, those things that are happening out in our community. And I've always found, since I first became a part of CPCC and delivering data to the Justice Coordinating Committee around our jail population several years ago, I always found this space as a very collaborative space and really where the people that are doing the work and we can affect change in our systems and make good policy, and then ultimately do what we're charged to do, and that's fund innovation. Innovative programs like DUR, innovative programs like we've done with our community corrections, and all the other things like we've done with our behavioral health courts that we've funded that. So I know there's some work to be done on the budget and some expectations around budget. We are working hard on that. Laura Wachter, one of my deputies on our team, I know is working closely with folks on this in the commission to try to work through our budget, ask for this, and seeing what we're going to currently fund and do all those things. So really just wanted to take this opportunity to say hello to everyone, that the transition is underway. Asadia, Cindy Lobb have been transitioned over to the Department of Safety, and we're working through all those but I also just want all the commissioners to know, and our guests and our community members, if there's anything related to the commission, I try to be as accessible to anyone as I can. Please reach out to me if you have any suggestions. I've already talked to some commissioners that I've either bumped into or they've reached out and have their ideas or want, some ideas on how we can maybe reinvigorate how we're doing, or how we can look at things, or how we can even I've had a mention of maybe trying to get folks in a coming back in person and meeting in person. And I understand though that sometimes this remote environment makes it easier for us folks, especially folks bouncing between meetings, to get on and more participatory. But I'm open to any ideas that we all have that we can bring to the commission, that we can just bring together those thought partners that we've had before in tackling a lot of these issues. It's not a day goes by, and you could ask my staff here, when we get a question tossed upon or a policy issue or something, and I say, well, you know what, I really wish this is something for CPCC. This is where I'd like the CPCC to weigh in on something like this. And so, so I'm really looking forward to this. That's really all I had to say, just other than please reach out to me directly. Also, you can reach out to Asadia, and we can try to work this in. We'll have a good cadence of meetings. Looking forward to and filling. I know we have some commission vacancies. I talked with Carol Peoples when we saw each other at the statewide opioid conference earlier this week. So yeah, let's look at what we can do to kind of act on some of those things that have kind of been lingering, and I'm just really excited to work with you all again. So thank you. That's all I have, Asadia.
Thank you very much, Armando. Do anyone have anything they would like to say to the commission or to Armando at this time? We have a little bit of time before the next agenda item. So commissioner only, still guests, we'll wait till the end for your comment. Do anyone have any comments they would like to make to Armando or to the entire commission about this time, about the CPC transferring to Department of Safety or anything like that? Go ahead, Liz.
I just want to take an opportunity to welcome him on behalf of the Budget Committee. We have a very robust group of 11 people, 2 advisors and 9 commission members. And we're very excited to be able to work with you and work with our budget moving forward in the RFP process. And we're always open for other members. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Liz is the chair for the Budget Committee. Armando, no problem. Go ahead, Carol.
Thank you. And thank you so much for the welcome. Looking forward to collaborating. I have something to ask of my fellow commissioners, and that is, I'm gonna try not to come off like an old school teacher, which I do, but if you guys don't mind, I really want us to meet in person again. We've got a lot of problem solving to do, and that always is better in person. But also, I mean, if you could at least just turn on your camera, lean in. I know maybe you're not feeling like it today, but you know, if we could just start having a little bit more feeling of human to human, but just seeing the names month after month. Thank you. It's so good to see faces. And you know, just we need to lean in together. And if we have differences with each other, we need to bring it here and bring it to our discussions. And I'm going to say it and not tweet about it about commissioners. It's not okay. We need to have civil conversations going forward. We've got 3 new people we're bringing on the commission today. I'll be talking about them, I hope. And so I'm just asking us to have a good start. And thank you very much.
Hey, Carol, I just want to say that's a great recommendation. Actually, I had my camera off. I was eating a late lunch and I wanted to spare you all from that trauma of watching me eat my lunch, but it's a great suggestion. I agree. We need to see each other a little bit more, and COVID's not going to get in the way of that this year. So should be in good shape.
Yes, thank you, Carol and Bob, for your comment. Go ahead, Councilman Cashman.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Director Soldate for his willingness to look at public safety from a public health perspective, as well as traditional badge and gun policing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what budget presentation comes forth from the department in the next couple of months, and really appreciate your involvement in CPCC. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman. Go ahead, Taj.
Good afternoon, everyone. I also kind of wanted to copy the earlier messages of appreciation, especially Armando, and a welcome as well. Especially on behalf of the reentry working group. I look forward to talking with you and collaborating with you and getting you also involved with the work of the working group as well. So thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you, Taj. I really am glad for that. I want to connect soon with, in fact, I'll be meeting with Asadi, and that was one of the things I've written down on the note here is I wanted to talk to our budget committee and the reentry committee, because there's just so much work with both. And what you all are doing with reentry and a lot of our problems now around recidivism and things like that, repeat offense, is I really want to help work with you all and trying to advance the work that you're doing, which I know is great work.
Well, let's link up soon for sure. And I'm sure, you know, Asadia is a great connection between both actual subcommittee groups. So I'm looking forward to it. So as soon as possible.
Yes. Anyone else had any comment? Okay, we're gonna move right along. Carol, are you ready? You're next. Okay, Carol. So Carol is going to present the CPC nominations. There are 3 nominees that are up. That is Anthony, Tomas, and Kara or Kara. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. All 3 individuals are on as well. Just in case we have any questions that Carol can answer, or if you would like for them to introduce themselves. Go ahead, Carol. I also have your presentation, so would you like for me to share the screen? Okay.
Yes, would you please?
No problem. Okay.
Thank you, Sadia.
Mhm.
So this is just to walk you through the what the member task force has been doing. It started a while back with Karen Kinblade, and we started working on putting a process to this. So I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction to who we are and what we've been doing. Next slide, please. So it has been Councilwoman Ortega, Lisa Thompson, Demi Trujillo, and myself for basically since 2020. We have met consistently We have been focusing on tier B. Those are the community recruit seats. The rest of them, the tier A representatives are designated by the ordinance. We are losing Demi, you know, she's moving on to the court. And we certainly would love to have additional members join us. We won't be meeting quite as often because we have filled almost all of the vacant seats. But please let me know if you'd like to be helping us with this process. Next slide, please. So when we got together as a group, we had some goals around it because it wasn't very transparent. And so that was one of the first things, like we really wanted to increase the transparency of it and to document the process, make sure that all the applications were reviewed, share the names of applicants with the full commission, and then decrease the process time it was taking people when they applied. As you know, some of you who applied, it took a long time when you first sent in your application to when you heard back from folks. So we've been had all of those things in mind. Next slide, please. So this is what we came up a while back with Karen, and this is what the process looks like, so that, you know, someone goes online, they complete that application, it goes through the mayor's office, and then it's reviewed there, and then it's forwarded on to the CPCC director or the program manager. Then that one person receives it and reviews it. I think those are directly moved on to the rest of the group. I don't think anybody at any time has ever been screened out at that point as an inappropriate match. Then it comes on to the committee, or the task force, as we started calling ourselves. And then we talk about it. We came up with a questionnaire, a secondary questionnaire. Sometimes it's not evident to us that which seat that person is wanting, what demographic that person is wanting to represent on the commission, or what their interest is, or how they're related, their work relates. We came up with an additional questionnaire that we send out to folks, and we ask them to fill that out too. And then they send that back in. Sometimes people don't, but then we talk and make a decision about what we think, and then we present the slate to you all. And it says monthly, but we haven't been able to do that. But we're catching up. But we have 3 people to present this week at this meeting. Next slide, please. Before I go on to present the 3 individuals, are there any questions? Okay. We have 1 seat open as a representative of the Denver community, and we had a gentleman named Anthony Pfaff. I don't know if he is, I didn't see him in the audience today. He submitted his additional questionnaire, indicated an extreme interest in and knowledge about budgeting and metrics. He's a program manager at the University of Colorado School of Medicine, and we were very impressed by his resume and experience and interest, and so we'd like to recommend to move him onto the commission. I realized one of the things as we worked out our protocol is how we're going to move people forward, if we vote on them individually or if we vote on them as a slate. I think we need to maybe have a little discussion about that. Another person, Anthony Pfaff, are you here?
Yeah, I sure am. I'm
great.
calling in from the hospital, so you can only see half my face because I got to wear this while I'm here. But yeah, I'm really excited to potentially join this esteemed group of people, especially as it has interesting times with the transition from DDPHE over to the Department of Safety. And yeah, really excited to contribute potentially in any way that I can.
It's very nice to meet you and to see you. Would you like to say just a few other things about why you became interested in serving on the commission?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm socially distanced enough here, so I'll let you see all my face while I give this little spiel. But yeah, I've been a member of the Denver community since 2018. or rather a homeowner in Denver since 2018. And with the COVID pandemic and kind of experience with that with my time at Denver Health and just seeing all of the public health impacts of the pandemic and the innovative ways the Department of Safety here handled a lot of that. And it was really good to hear the executive director's comments earlier about the public health response in the jails even to the COVID pandemic. It just got me energized that this city and county does a lot of great innovative work, both in the public health space, but also in the safety space. And I thought, wow, I think I have some skills that I could contribute with, and I'd love to be a part of that and help them innovate in any way I can. And so, yeah, really just excited to kind of be a part of the process with, all these esteemed leaders, all these Tier A folks, as it were, designated by the ordinance that have very powerful roles and to help influence that. I think, I put it in my application too. There's a couple of ways that we potential commissioner, in my case, potential commissioner, such as myself, can influence things in the city. And that's one, by, bringing things to the table here, but two, by helping and working influence and building relationships, those kind of Tier A ordinance designated folks that have roles outside of this commission that can kind of take, persuasion or conversation to heart and really leverage that and make an impact on the way law enforcement is delivered or health is delivered in the city, or mental health care is delivered for those that are representing the mental health system. And I work in the Department of Psychiatry, so I'm very passionate about that. So yeah, ultimately just really excited. There's a lot of great moving pieces and parts here and a lot of great important people, and I hope to be a part of them. So thank you for the consideration.
Sorry. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here today. Really appreciate your application and interest in this. The next person, I've seen her on as well, Kara Napolitano. Kara, thank you so much for applying. Kara works for the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking. And again, a really fantastic a resume and questionnaire about her interest in serving on the commission. There are two seats that are from that, and as we revise the ordinance, we kind of increase the scope of who these seats are, and that's representatives from community coalitions or organizations that are focused on justice and or crime prevention from areas of Denver most impacted by crime. So not just crime victims as well, but the organizations as well. So we were delighted to see Kara's application. Kara, would you like to say a few things?
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'll just say I'm in a public place. I'm on the road doing some trainings today, so I'm in a coffee shop, so I apologize if there's background noise. I'm really honored actually to be considered for this commissioner position. And I actually just learned about this commission through a colleague and was recommended to apply. But upon attending the last couple of meetings, I'm already inspired by your work. I see that there's just so many well-intentioned and smart people in this group, and so I'm really looking forward to it. And I think, I hope to bring a lens of our work. We work with survivors of human trafficking of both labor and sex, many of whom have been criminalized for crimes that they were forced to commit as a result of their trafficking, and many of whom who have just been part of the criminal justice system alongside their exploitation. And so I hope to bring some of that lens, the stories that we've heard from survivors, and how we can do a little bit better about recognizing when we are criminalizing potential exploitation, letting people know more about their rights, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. I'm so glad you're here, even if you're in a coffee shop, which is my favorite place in the world to be. But thank you so much for stopping and joining in. And then last but not least by any means is Mr. Tomas Hernandez. I've known him for a number of years. Tomas does significant work in the community, in the sober living community, has tried several times to be on the commission, but I got you beat, Tomas. I tried 3 times over 10 years. So, if you don't first get on, keep trying, everybody. Anyway, Tomas, I think you're here. Do you want to say a few words?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Tomas Hernandez. Excuse me. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I hope I find everybody well. I was hoping to find a whole lot more people yesterday and the day before. I got to sit with Carol at the opioid conference, but unfortunately I had a death in the family of opioid. That's the third of this year in my family. And that brings me to the reason why I do the work that I do in recovery and stabilization. I love reentry work to the fullest. It's a passion. It's something I'm a gentleman with lived experience. But what saved my life was the stability of recovery and mental health. And for my organization, that's key point to learn from other organizations, to innovate and to co-op and partner with other organizations that we have. My organization runs the new RAD program that's in the jail, the PPC pretrial program that's in the jail. We also have multiple sober livings. We have mental health recovery, but we also partner in small parts with different organizations. And that's what really got me excited about this commission. It takes a village more than just one organization jumping in and trying to do it all by themselves. I like the fact that Denver has that innovative practice to go that direction. And yeah, that's basically why I'm here. Hopefully I'll stick around and I'll get your vote. Thanks.
Thank you, Tomas. We had one other applicant who we were not able to move forward. And we did, as you mentioned before in the presentation, we wanted to be more transparent. So we wanted to announce everybody who had applied. And that is Miss Vera Idam, IDAM. We could not identify from her application, her connection to Denver, nor her specific interest in the community she wished to represent. She did not provide us with the additional questionnaire. We have given her the opportunity to submit that and apply for another open seat if she's interested, but at this point, we're not moving her name forward. So I would like to, at this point, move the slate of the three individuals forward for a vote, and then next discuss the last two remaining seats that we have open. Again, I mentioned that this is a process we're still working to refine. If you guys have ideas about how to do this in the future, if we should do it one person at a time or do it with, I don't know, but I'm open to figuring this out. But at this point, I'm going to nominate all three of them as a representative of the task force, the membership task force, to be brought onto the Crime Prevention Control Commission.
I'll second the nominations.
Thank you. I was just about to call for a second, but I had to stop sharing the stream. Okay, since we have two motions, I am going to do roll call with this one. So just bear with me because if you're a commissioner, I'm going to say your name. And you will have to let me know either yes, you would like to have the three nominees be forward to the mayor so that they can whether or not the mayor would decide they can be placed on the commission, no, or abstain. So yes, no, abstain. And if it's a no or abstain, you do not have to tell your reason why. You could just say no and then mute yourself again. That's no problem at all. Okay, so I'm just going to go by how your name appears. Jonathan, you have a question before we start?
Yes, just a quick one.
Go
So just for clarification, Carol bringing these nominees to the board today, that means that the entire recruitment board is in agreement of these recommendations. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry I
Okay.
didn't make that clear.
No, you probably did. I'm slow sometimes, you know.
Yes, that was correct. And there's 4 members on that subcommittee. Carol is the chair, Demi was the co-chair, and then there's Lisa Thompson and Councilwoman Ortega. All 4 of them decide to move this to the commission today. And once again, your vote today is just for it to move to the mayor's office. The mayor will have to vet all 3 nominations, and then the mayor will decide whether or not they'll be on the commission. So this vote today is just to move to the mayor's office. It's not to decide, just letting the mayor know that, yes, we approve this, or no, or abstain. Any other questions or clarification? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do roll call, and Emily is gonna count. Emily, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Emily. Okay, so once again, I'm just gonna go by how you appear to me in the participation list. So the first commissioner will be Councilwoman Candy Cedabaca. I don't know if she's on or not. The next,
I'll reach out to her, Asante, to make sure she's not.
okay,
I'll reach out.
thank you very much, Ashley. Next one, Deanna.
Yes.
Thank you for your vote, Deanna. Next one, Sean McDermott.
Yes.
Thank you, Sean. Next one, Armando Sadate.
Yes.
Thank you, Armando. Next one, Orlando Salazar.
Yes.
Thank you, Orlando. Next one, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan. Next one, Beth.
Yes.
Thank you, Beth. Hold on. Next one is Bob McDonald.
Yes.
Thank you, Bob. Next one is Liz.
Yes.
Thank you, Liz. Next one is Councilman Paul Cashman.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Next one is Taj.
Yes.
Thank you, Taj. Next one on the list is Amy.
Yes.
Thank you, Amy. Next one is Carol.
Yes.
Thank you, Carol. I just realized like when you talk, it messes it up. So it keeps on changing. So sorry about that. Let me see. Greg Morrow, next one.
Yes.
Thank you, Greg. Next one, Laura Roner.
Yes.
Thank you, Laura. Lisa Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa. Marley.
Yes. Yes, if you didn't hear me, Asadia.
Okay, thank you. I just got a message from Candy Cedabaca, excuse me, Councilwoman Candy Cedabaca. Her vote was yes. Emily, can you let me know, was that at least 15 commissioners? Good.
I counted 17.
Let me see. Okay. The only one that was left is Meredith.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Meredith. I just want to make sure you got your vote in. There's any other commissioners that did not vote? I don't want to miss you. Okay, so we have all yeses from all the commissioners. So thank you for the 3 nominees to being here today. So basically what I was saying, like I said, we are going to move your application to the mayor's office, and the mayor will decide yes or no whether or not you'll be on the commission. And if you have any other additional questions or concerns or statements or anything like that, or updates, just let me know. All 3, you have my email address. And so after this meeting's over, I will forward it to the mayor's office, and the mayor's office will vet you, and I will let you know soon on what the mayor decides, or they will let you know. This is my first time having nominees, so I am excited because I don't even know this process myself. So I'm excited, and I'm hoping that you 3 will be on the commission. Well, thank you, and the voting has closed for that. Okay. We're a little early, but next on the agenda is Lisa Thompson.
You've got one more thing.
Go ahead, Carol. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Sadia, one more slide, please.
No
Do we
problem.
have some
I
open-
remember. Yep. So sorry
Yeah,
about
and
that.
I just want to thank everybody for applying and for being here today. And I also want to remind everyone, we have 2 more open seats. By ordinance, a representative of Denver Public Schools leadership team is eligible. And as a group, we were thinking, what does the team mean? So actually, I found a couple different places where it lists them. I mentioned this to Armando the other day, and so I do think that we should discuss or get some ideas on folks, what it was intended by having folks from the team. Jonathan, I see your hand go up. What's up?
I would love to have this conversation with the recruitment committee. In my previous role with the city as the director of youth violence prevention, I had a strong relationship with Denver Public Schools safety and security team, also with their youth violence prevention team and some of the more comprehensive work that they were doing around youth development and youth safety. So I can connect you with some people who I would highly recommend they at least have a conversation with, if not to consider
Fantastic.
bringing onto the team.
And Armando, you also said you had some ideas, and then does anybody else want to be involved in the conversation about defining team? Who should be brought in from the Denver Public School and reached out to for recruiting? Well, let me know, please. We also have an open seat for a representative of the juvenile justice system. And Jonathan, you may have some thoughts about that as well with your. So please reach out. We're going to have to convene our team again to talk about who we're going to reach out to. If you have ideas, please be thinking about it. We count on all the commissioners to do the outreach to your community, your networks about people to be brought on to the commission. So just 2 more seats to fill, and we will be a full commission. Lisa Thompson, thank you so much. Demi's not here today, but it's been great to work with her, and Councilwoman Ortega and Asadia. Thank you so much for all the work you guys have done on this this task force. And so now we are finished, Asadia. Thank you.
I apologize about that, Carol. Yes. So do anyone have any other additional questions for Carol? I think she's the only one here from the recruitment team. So does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, and if you do know someone who would like to apply for the Denver Public Schools or the juvenile justice involvement position, just email me. I can send out application, and we also can get the ball rolling on those 2, filling those 2 seats. Because once those 2 seats are filled, we are at capacity. And so that's exciting to be at capacity. That means we are a hot commodity. Everybody want to be on our team. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, commissioners, for that. And thank you, Carol. And if anyone would also like to join the recruitment team as the co-chair, because Demi is leaving, Carol, she needs a co-chair now. So for the recruitment subcommittee. Okay, so now we're going to just go ahead to our next agenda item. Lisa, I know it's a little bit early, but are you ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready. Thanks, everyone. I have a few members from our team here that I'd like to introduce who are going to talk about the Beacon Bed program that the CPC funds. So I have Aaron Crowder here. He's our Director of Residential Services. EJ Becker is the Director of our Transitional Housing Department. We just recently moved our Beacon program from residential services to transitional housing. And then Philip Bruce is our manager of our Beacon Place facility. So we have a presentation that they've put together. I'm going to turn it over to them. Asadia, I did send the presentation. Can I share my screen to bring it up? Or Aaron, would you prefer to bring it up? What would be best for you?
If I could bring it up, that'd be great. I noticed a couple of typos on there that I corrected. So I've got one that's probably got typos.
Okay, great. Yeah, Aaron, you can go ahead and share your screen. Hopefully it lets you. But once you're done, because I did have the one that Lisa sent me. So once you're done, whatever typos or corrections you make, please send it to me so I can send it out to the rest of the commissioners.
Yeah, I can do that.
No problem.
Let's see if this pulls up correctly. I think, is everybody seeing just the standard
yes,
presentation?
Yes.
Looks good.
Excellent. Well, we just have 8 slides, so hopefully we can go through this relatively quickly. So we're talking about the 5 Beacon beds we have. So Beacon Place is a 24/7 transitional housing facility. We have 80 total beds in the Beacon facility, and we serve 3 meals a day. We have housekeeping services, and we have on-site support staff. And we have multiple programs at Beacon Place. We have the CPCC beds, we have respite care beds, we have 2 VA GPD programs that we operate out of Beacon, and also the Ruth Goebel Women's Program. And so Beacon has a lot going on. This is just a breakdown of kind of the percentage of folks that we have in various programs. So it shows the 5 CPCC beds in comparison to the rest of the building here. So the goals that we have for the CPCC program are to maintain those 5 beds. 3 of them are dedicated to male and 2 to female. Participants are referred through the Denver County Courts and are individuals that are experiencing housing instability and are service users of the Denver court programs and services. And most of the folks that we are serving have multiple conditions. So if we're looking at medical, mental health issues, substance use issues, chronic health conditions, when we were looking at it, of the folks that we've served since 2021, 7 of the 9 folks in the program have had 3 or more conditions in addition to their court involvement. So our goals are to provide short-term beds and housing placement support for eligible clients as part of the Denver Wellness Court, to provide support service, including independent living skills, housing referrals, and navigation services, and the goal of also completing their probation requirements and placements in permanent housing. So the contract is for $54,000 per year for the 5 beds, which is $900 per bed per month. And for that, they get 5 days per week of supportive services on site, care coordination, the meals, the housekeeping services, and then we staff this facility 24 hours a day. So in a cost comparison, Denver spends approximately $200 a day for a person experiencing homelessness and $84 a day for congregate shelter. So just some of our program results. In 2021, we served 8 total individuals, and so far this year we've served 6. Last year we had roughly, well, we did have half of them were able to access employment services or be employed, and this year we're at 2, hoping to get at least to that 50% this year or greater as well. A little over half of the folks had non-cash benefits when they entered our program, if we're looking at 2021 and 2022 to current. And as of now, all the folks we've been able to get connected to non-cash benefits. All of the folks from 2021 to current were able to access the on-site case management services. We were able to connect 8 out of the 9 folks to preventative medical care, 7 out of 9 to behavioral health care, and 2 of the folks ended up with substance use referrals kind of at the end of that program stay. And all of them, of course, received the client, the enhanced coordination to complete their court requirements. So benefits we see of the CPCC program is obviously the enhanced coordination of care to complete the requirements of probation and to access housing, the increased engagement in needed supportive services for folks with many multiple conditions, and a high success rate in connecting folks with a wide range of services from medical, both through our on-site services and our community referrals. And it's really cost effective as a program at our current rate at $29.59 a day. So we currently have 3 participants in the program. 3 out of the 5 beds are filled, so we have space for 1 male and 1 female. We're in contact with Lynn Unger to fill those 2 vacancies. And Philip, who Lisa introduced, I'll have him talk. He works day in and day out at Beacon, and see if Philip can share the success story of somebody that we just have had in our program, and I'm excited about where things are at today.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. So we wanted to share this success story that is in process. We have a client who does present with both mental health and substance use needs. and as well as a need for stable housing. She entered our program in June of 2021 after being referred through Lynn and through Denver County Courts. And since that time, she has regularly engaged with court services, trying to resolve all of her court mandated activities. She's also engaged in regular behavioral health with one of our on-site clinicians, as well as case management and getting connected to a PCP, psychiatry, and other supports over at South Street and MHCD, or Wellpower, as they're called now. So this client received a lot of help with getting support for housing, applied for a lot of different housing opportunities, and recently received a voucher through, I think, South Metro Housing. And they're actually scheduled and successfully appealed when it was denied. And they are now scheduled for a lease up on Friday. So we're really excited for the progress that this client's made and just the work that we do in this program. And I'm happy to answer any questions as well.
We know that's a brief description, but it's a small but mighty program. I think that benefits the people who are able to access services. And I'm sure Lynn may have something to add. I don't know from her perspective as the referrals are coming through the court system. So feel free to chime in, Lynn. And as the team said, we're happy to answer any questions about the program.
Yes.
I have a question, and it may be Lynn's input, but so how are people selected for referral? Are they coming through one of the specialty courts, and are there criteria for placement at Beacon House?
Philip and I just talked about that, so I'll let Philip take that.
Yeah, so we do receive most of our referrals from the Denver County Court. There isn't a lot of sort of requirements for eligibility. One is homelessness or housing instability, and being involved in some capacity with Denver County Court. Now, if we have openings and Denver County Court, we can't fill them there. We can take referrals from the district courts and from some other folks that are working with clients in the court system.
So are these people who have indicated a willingness to try to better themselves or asked for help, or how? I mean, because there got to be a lot of people who could be eligible for this program, I would think.
Yeah, I'll let Lynn take that one. I think that's some of the work they do on the front end with referrals.
Yeah, one of the things that we do when we talk with people about the Beacon beds is just kind of go over what Beacon is like. And we actually do a lot of tours with Beacon. It's not a fit for everyone because we share bedrooms, so there's roommate situations. Some individuals aren't interested in being part of a milieu that, you know, is eating together, receiving case management services. Some people just aren't there yet. So some individuals that we talk about aren't quite ready for that step. So it really just depends, on the individual. Is it a good fit for them? You know, what do they think? Are they ready? You know, and just recently we have someone moving into the bed, I think this Friday, who was on the wait list earlier this year, but was in a different place in his recovery and ran away from Beacon, actually, I think twice when we were trying to get him in there. But now this person is ready in his recovery and is really excited to be at Beacon Place, and we're excited to connect them. So it really, we want to be low barrier for people to come in, but also meet them where they are when they're ready, you know, and hopefully have that bed available for them.
Are they on probation? Or
they don't have to be.
So there's a case that gets resolved, like they're sentenced to something, or I'm just a little confused about how the process works.
Sure. So at any point in the adjudication process, somebody can access a Beacon bed. A lot of times an individual will be, you know, talked to by someone in one of our special programs, or we might talk to them in 2100 just when they're first coming into the system. And if we identify that they're facing housing instability and think they might be a good fit for Beacon, and they identify that as well, we're happy to connect them. Individuals who are on probation in one of our special programs or on regular probation are also eligible for the beds. So it really doesn't matter to us, you know, what their requirements are in the court, just that they are connected with the court in some way, so that we can serve the justice population.
I had a question about the average length of stay, just looking at the kind of the data that
Wait,
was
hold on,
shared.
Bob. I'm sorry. Liz, she had her hand up first. Liz, and then
Okay,
after
sorry.
Liz, go ahead, Bob. Go ahead, Liz.
Next, Bob. The question I had, because you have a smaller place, it sounds like you have a little bit more of an intimate location and possibly better ability to focus with some of the individuals that have different challenges. Do you find that there's a certain type of a person with certain barriers that may benefit more greatly from a place that's a little bit smaller, but maybe more targeted in their services, such as Beacon?
Yeah, I think most of our programs serve people who have struggled in housing stability in the past. And so typically, we follow a housing first model. Some of our other programs use other language like low demand for the veteran beds. But it all kind of comes out to serving folks who tend not to do well or to have long stays in housing and tend to have difficulty in maintaining their housing. So we do work with pretty high acuity folks.
But I think the one thing I would add, though, is similar to what Lynn said. I think the population does have to be able to tolerate living in more of a group setting where there's communal meals and there's shared bedrooms, and that's not a good fit, you know, necessarily for everyone. So I think that would be something, you know, to strongly consider in this.
Thank you. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed this. What's the average length of stay then there for an individual?
Yeah, we have two metrics that we look at. So for the folks that are still in the program, the average length of stay right now is 288 days. For the folks that we've exited, and this is just going back to the beginning of 2021, the average length of stay was 150 days.
But people can stay at Beacon Place up to 2 years. So it's a up to 2 years transitional housing.
Okay, thank you.
And I think another thing to note is we typically keep folks here until the end of their involvement with the court. However, Lynn and I have talked about this. We are able to kind of do a 30-day to 60-day kind of flex period to make sure that folks have a decent transition plan, right? Like if they're not totally ready to get into housing, that we're like really helping them to transition in a good way. They're not out immediately when they finish court.
Thank you. Do any other commissioners have any other questions about this program? Okay. Do you have any other last statements, EJ, Philip, Aaron, or Lisa?
No, I just want to give a shout out to the incredible team that I work with. Thank you for your work and pulling this together and for your work every day with these clients.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Just a
you.
reminder, send me the presentation and I will send it out to the entire commission.
All right,
So-
I'll send it right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, so we're just gonna move on to the agenda, and I think we're almost done. So we're moving pretty well. Do any guest has any public comment? Any guest would like to speak or make a comment to the commission at this time? Okay, we can move right along then. Do any commission have closing remarks? Liz, you can go ahead. I remember you emailed me about this, so go ahead, Liz. Oh, wait, Liz, you go ahead, and then after Liz, it would be great.
Okay, thank you. My only comment, and I was able to go through it briefly with the budget committee. There's been a lot of work that's been done on the committee with getting the budget submitted and working with the Department of Safety in order to finalize it. Our next steps are going to be looking at the RFP process, which has changed within the city in the past year. So there's a lot more detail involved with this. So we really want to get a heads up on planning, even while we're pending the finalization of the budget. So we're looking at the considerations for planning as well as the database or platform considerations within the RFP. We currently have 11 members participating, and we are absolutely open for other people, other commissioners to participate in the group. I think we'll have a big task and we may need several hands, especially those that are familiar with or don't have a fear of the RFP process, because it can be quite detailed. So we are looking for other people. So I want to thank those commissioners that are currently on there and welcoming anybody that's new to come on board to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Do anyone have a comment for Liz? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Greg.
Thanks, Asadia. I just wanted to share some news that I think many of the commissioners will find as good news. Folks remember that roughly 3 years ago, as a result of a policy shift in terms of who operated community corrections programs in the city and county of Denver, we lost our only in-county female placement option. I'm happy to report, while it's taken a lot longer than any of us would have liked or imagined, we did reopen Project Elevate at the Thule Hall site, which is now city-owned and city-operated, along with a community partner, the Empowerment Program. So it is a 55-bed women's program serving both returning women from the Department of Corrections as well as individuals being diverted from prison. So it's a tremendous staff. There's tremendous energy. Certainly, as clients continue to enter the program, if folks want a tour, reach out to me. We'll be happy to schedule that. But it's the first step in a long process, but we are excited to bring it online, and certainly want to thank everybody, including Armando, for all of his support in this work, and Deputy Director Wachter. And anyway, we're just excited, and I wanted to share it with the commission.
Thank you very much, Greg. That is amazing news. Does anyone else have any comment? Guests or commissioners, do anyone else have any comment?
Yeah, Sadia, I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to Greg, because that is amazing news. We've kind of, at Second Chance Center, been watching that develop, and our own programs that deal with community corrections has been linked to that. So definitely exciting, and congratulations with that, and can't wait to work forward with you guys.
Thank you for the comment, Taj. Jonathan?
I just kind of want to echo Taj's sentiments. 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, when we had the unfortunate change in policy, several of us, commissioners and outside community members, were working diligently on making that shift happen from the private-owned community corrections to city-operated. And my heart is really encouraged that Greg, with your leadership and others who were involved in the process, that we got to the finish line, despite some of the turbulence along the way. So thank you.
Thank you for the comment.
Oh, and I also want to, I bet Reverend Tammy is smiling down on you right now, because that was one of her lifelong goals. So Greg, thank you for making that happen for her.
Thank you for your comment, Jonathan. Sorry, I was ahead of you there. Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Greg. And I mean, this is a big thing. This is a community, this is a partnership. It's a new model, right? It's a hybrid between a city agency and a community partner, right? It's innovative. It's wonderful to see this coming online. Thank you very much for all your work on this.
Thank you much. Thank you, Carol. Okay, once again, I'm just checking to see any other commissioners or any other guests have any closing remarks or public comment. All right, can I get 2 motions to adjourn this meeting?
I am so moved that we end the meeting.
Thank you, Jonathan. I need one more.
Second.
All right, we have 2, Jonathan and Taj. All right, the meeting is adjourned. See you in September, and we'll see whether or not it's in person, but have a good day. Bye.
Bye, everyone.